Hello there, everybody. How are you doing? Rosanna here with some RozyGlow magic just for you. I've just realised that I've got my headset on and haven't plugged it in. Let's do that. Wow. Well, it has been such a phenomenal month since the last new moon co-creation. I have the cacao ready with me here. So those of you who are new to my work, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for your support and for subscribing. RozyGlow is all about divine grace. It's about aligning with the flow of divine grace, which, as I understand it, is the power of revelation. Those aha moments where things suddenly become clear that allow us to let go easily of the strife and the struggle in our lives and to welcome more blessings, more ease into our life. So gracefulness, graciousness, God's grace, the source of all that is just flowing through, and each of us being an embodiment of that. Now, we're in the UK here. I'm just checking the time that the new moon was birthed at 11:38 a.m. So a couple of hours ago. So there is a new energy coming through at the moment. And I was just reviewing what last new moon meditation was all about, because we were just about to enter into the Lion's Gate. It was another new moon in August. The Lion's Gate, simply put, is when we align with the star constellation Sirius, and it's as though the gates of heaven open and we receive that source light direct from our cosmic central sun, direct from what we may call God, or the source of all that is, in its purest form, so way beyond any kind of personality attributes, aside from infinite love and compassion. And today it feels like compassion is the theme, because what we were working with in that new moon meditation last month was about aligning with our divinity. Prior to that, it was about allowing our soul to take control. And now we're looking over the last 3-4 month period that's passed, we've really been looking at stepping off timelines, off paradigm timelines, if you like, or a way of living life that is based on challenge and struggle and continually like walking uphill with a big rucksack on your back, to trusting that when you actually let go of needing to control everything, but you own what is important for you to hold as a boundary. So for your energy system, we'll talk about that a bit today. Think of it like banks of the river, and then having a sort of central column, which you could say your spiritual spine, that allows your energy to flow well. So we do have a responsibility to create some kind of structure, which is what this new moon in Virgo is all about, to allow this new direction that we want to be in, to allow grace and ease to flow into our lives. If we don't have a structure for it, it's got nowhere to go. So in letting your soul take control, and that means allowing the small self, the ego self, the programmed self to get an upgrade and to stop micromanaging through fear our lives, we get into a place where we can start to experience life as an influx of beneficial, benevolent opportunities, as grace flowing to us, as we practice discernment and allow ourselves to recognize what is in alignment with grace and ease and what isn't. So we do need to steer our ship towards that which is graceful and easy. If we keep looking for grace and ease where we know there is trouble, then you're only ever going to get what you've always had. So being able to recognize the need to set an intention, to be very clear about that intention, what is it you want to experience? It's so important, because when you have an intention, then you can start to create it, you can start to focus on it. So you decide what it is that you want, then you create a plan, and that plan is going to help you to be able to manage like how you're going to get what you want, how you're going to open up to it. From there needs to be a real strong sense of desire. And that desire has to be coming from your soul, from your heart. So one thing I've really been recognizing recently is the difference between sort of should desires and true desires. So often we can feel we should do something because it will benefit others, or it'd be a great legacy, or somehow, you know, it would prove something in your life. But actually that's not a true soul desire. That's an ego-driven desire that is asking for external validation. So us really understanding why we want what we want is very important before we can proceed to the next step, which is to be committed to doing whatever it takes to achieve that. And that means meeting your resistance and not backing away, not giving up on yourself. So you back yourself up. That's then when we can meet that resistance that we encounter. So it will come from within and from the world around us, because we're constantly interacting with others, with love, with unconditional love. And the process that I take you through in these meditations is all about transmuting resistance into love, into compassion, into the frequencies that allow us to no longer block the very things we say we want. So before I go any further, I'm going to toast the cacao diva in. So if you are a fan of ceremonial grade cacao, you know that I offer this up when I do my meditation. So always have a cup ready. And I'm just going to invite her in, and then I'll do a little bit more talking before we actually drop into the meditation. So if you want to take a moment just to sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. If you haven't got any cacao, don't worry. If you want to purchase it, let me know, because I can send you a link and you can purchase through my RozyGlow website. But just connecting to us, to me, while I have it, means you will feel the vibration of love that comes from this beautiful being. So just take a moment, close your eyes, and allow yourself to either hold your cacao and smell its deliciousness, or bring your hands to your heart center. And take a moment just to receive your breath as the source of all that is. The way I was talking about it in my yoga classes yesterday was as though each breath you take is your favorite meal. It's like a bite of your favorite meal or favorite food. Just taking it in, savoring it, filling your whole body up with it. And then as you exhale, sending that breath down your body, all the way down into the earth, and then around the earth, and then into the heart of the earth. So the very center of our planet, you can imagine, is a beautiful, bright crystal. It could be any color that is coming to you. It could be bright white light or clear, or it could be magenta or turquoise or even obsidian. Just trust what comes to you. I'm seeing it as bright quartz light. Then breathe it back up through your body. And at the same time, out through your heart and out through the crown of your head. So as you send it out, just imagine now a beautiful big sphere of compassion surrounding you. And this is a sphere that contains all of your energy field. You just create this outer boundary to invite the cacao diva into, to touch our hearts, to awaken the essence, the divine spark within each of us. And as we do this, just allowing the love and the light that is within us to be met with the love and light that is above and also below us. So we're receiving with every in-breath love and light. And as we breathe out, we're sending that love and light into our energy field. Becoming aware of awakening our connection to our physical body, etheric, emotional, mental, and astral bodies. And beyond that, our divine blueprint, celestial and causal bodies. So all aspects of our being. Just allow for a moment the smile in your heart to find you. See this as the essence of the cacao diva connecting with you now. She is known to bring balance and harmony wherever it's most needed, to touch the hearts, to awaken compassion and humanity, so that we live in harmony with nature, with ourselves, with each other. That we are kind. So as that golden smile spreads through your being, allow yourself to receive a lightful blessing, so golden light shining down upon you. Just washing away anything that has been challenging in this morning, this week, this month. And imagine for a moment your physical body starting to glow a golden glow. And also the center of your being, so a strong beam of golden light moving down through the crown of your head, through your body into your earth chakra, which is a sphere of spinning light just below the surface of the earth. And then right down into the center of the earth. And now allow yourself to see your light body getting activated, which may be a 6-pointed star or a diamond shape. And see now the outline of your sphere of compassion also glowing a golden glow. We're ready to receive exactly what we need in alignment with our soul's highest intentions, in world service and also in service to ourselves, knowing that as we look after ourselves, as we give within, so we are able to give from an overflowing cup. And gently bow your head to your lovely heart. Smile sweetly to it. Open your eyes and come back. Welcome, 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 welcome. Just going to take a little sip. And yeah, just sharing with you a little bit about what's been going on. So we had the intentions of connecting with the diamond flame, particularly last full moon. What was coming up was letting go of the belief that everything that happens in our life is our fault. So if you actually consider that the ego has a really bad name, but I think it's really important to pre-qualify that the ego is just the programmed self, the part of you that is programmed to live in this world in a certain way, to view the world a certain way, according to the conditioning you inherited from your time in the womb through to the first few years of your life, that then got further impacted with time. So even if we make lifestyle choices and philosophical and belief choices that are different later in life, we still have these early imprints that influence us subconsciously. And how graceful and easy our life is will very much depend on what that early programming said to us about life and how graceful and easy life can be. So we're here in a process of reprogramming. And what happened with the new moon was we set intentions that were aligned with us really stepping into our divinity and allowing our divinity to flow through us. And that means we had to let go of the deepest rooted beliefs around judgment, self-judgment, judgment of others, responsibility, what is our responsibility as we grow more conscious, the difference between being in a victim state of consciousness and a co-creator state of consciousness is a victim state of consciousness says, you know, I'm helpless, I need someone to save me. When things happen, it's not my fault, it's someone else's fault. But equally, we can then go back to believing that everything is our fault as well. And so what's important to remember is an ego response to a situation where, let's say, something's happened you didn't expect, and it's not a good thing. It's not something that feels good. It's some kind of shock. Then this is going to easily spiral into a place of, well, either projecting onto others that it wasn't anything to do with you, but it was everyone else's kind of responsibility, or that it was entirely your responsibility. And as a result of that, you carry a heavy burden. But what we then do is self-flagellate, and our ego response is to beat ourselves up the same way that we may have been blamed as children, the way we may have been sort of taught to feel guilty or shameful. And so all of that gets recreated, and it keeps us stuck in a very low vibration where we never really move through and up into being able to be conscious co-creators and objectively to be able to, on the one hand, as a multidimensional being, hold all of our emotions as our human selves that may be complex, but on the other hand, to be able to see, by allowing ourselves to, where we played a part in what has happened, and also where other factors were at play that were beyond our control, because we don't control everything. As a co-creator, we accept that we are co-creating either with our fear-based self, our ego self, or our higher selves, our divinely guided selves. And it's not just with that part of us that we're co-creating, we're also co-creating in exchange with the energy of people around us and collective consciousness as well. So there are many layers of what it means to be a co-creator, but the essence of it is we learn to live according to certain principles. And I really wanted to go over compassion, principles of compassion primarily, and also principles of integrity, because when you have sabotage occurring again and again and again, it is not coming from outside of you. It is coming from a part of you that put control measures in place that said you are not going to go past this point until you know how to live in alignment with your divine self. If you're still at odds and you keep sort of dropping down into old stories, you're not going to be able to go past this point until you have truly anchored your integrity, compassion, the qualities that allow you to live with discernment and as a being beyond judgment. So we're all fallible, and that's why we use tools like infinite love to be able to love up what is difficult to love. But essentially, if you can accept that you will be able to step beyond a certain problem in your life when you are committed to reaffirming again and again and again your new truth, even in the absence of evidence outside of you that new truth is actually true. So we have to believe before we see. This is part of being a co-creator, because thoughts become things, not instantly, but very quickly these days. So the more we focus on the thought, the more we create energy around it. And in creating energy around it, we then start to attract plasma into form, basically. So that's how we create in this physical world. And we're all learning on this planet to be conscious co-creators, to learn to create from our heart self rather than our ego self. So that's the trip that we're on, basically. So in order to be able to practice compassion towards self, we are needing qualities that all fit under that umbrella. I've written a list, but basically qualities of allowing, acceptance, discernment, forgiveness, unconditional love. I'm also bringing in qualities here that help us to stay in compassion and integrity, which are about accountability and transparency and being impeccable with our words. So if we say something and we don't deliver on that, we create a deficit. It's very important to observe the words we say after I am, because you're basically stating something as a truth. So said it many times before, but you want to make sure that you're saying positive things. So, I am doing a really good job of learning to show up on time. I'm doing a really good job of becoming more ordered and disciplined. I'm doing a really good job of supporting myself through challenging times. All of these are positive statements that would move away from I'm always late, or I'm such a chaotic mess, or I'm always doing my best, but it seems like that's not good enough. Those are all affirming an old lower paradigm. So please be very mindful. So what other qualities? Let's see, we've got them here. So non-judgment, trust. That's it. Those are the ones that I've come up with. And there is also, I was actually looking, I think I don't have my phone. I do. Make sure it's on silent. So I was looking up what what do you call it? What Wikipedia was saying about what compassion is. And if I just read that to you quickly, I think it will help. Here we go. So kindness, mindfulness, helpfulness, patience, wisdom, and perseverance, warmth and resolve. Hello, welcome those who are joining. So, if you listen to this, write those qualities down. See if you can align with those qualities. Because today's meditation, this new moon, is really about allowing ourselves to start to create a structure around our intention. And so the Virgo moon is about the attention to detail. It's about being able to start to take ideas from our heads and putting them into paper. So when I say our heads, I mean from our hearts up through divine mind out. So many people I speak to. Welcome those who are joining. Welcome, welcome. Do say hello if you want to say who you are. Lots of people, lots of my coaching clients will say, oh yeah, it's in my head. It's in my head what I want to do. I'm like, well, if it's in your head, it's going to stay in your head. Have you written it down? Have you written down the intention and then the things that you think might cause a problem, as in make it difficult to create it, the things that you feel you're going to need to do in order to make it possible? We need to see where we're at first in order to cultivate the desire, to get really clear on whether the desire is heart-driven or ego-driven. And from there, the commitment practices to allow us to deal with the resistance that will come up. And it will come up because if if there wasn't any resistance, you'd already have it. Okay, so it's how do you support yourself through? So we all get passionate about things and we're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. New Year's resolutions are a great example. And then you fall off the wagon and you give up. So terms like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, you know, throwing all your toys out the pram, really looking for the worst in everything. All of that is part of us not backing ourselves, not committing to ourselves. And you do need to commit to your higher path. No one else can do it for you. So what I've noticed in my own life, you may see this, I've experienced a lot of pain this month. So since the Lionsgate portal opening up, basically got through my birthday, so ended my 40th year, entered into my 41st, or depends how you look at it, but that's basically it. And this huge sort of, oh my goodness, what an amazing, intense year I've had. What am I going to do next came up. And it's like, now I've got everything I want, and I'll make a separate video of that. I've got everything I've been working towards in the last 20 years. That's come. So now what? It's like, all right, I want to implement, I want to embed, I want to integrate, I want to expand beyond this and create more grace and ease everywhere. Okay, I know that's what I want. Great. And to be an example that I can keep supporting others to step up into this same space. And you know what? Everyone goes through the same process. So whether it's me, whether it's a coaching client, whether it's one of my teachers, when you're going through an expansion, you're going to meet your own resistance, your own vulnerability. My partner's been through wrist surgery where he's had both his wrists operated on day after my birthday, just as the Lionsgate portal closed. And so he had to face his vulnerability and let me look after him. Literally a week or so later, I end up with a shoulder that just completely floored me. Thank goodness he just got to the point that he could actually really manage on his own and wasn't in pain, because I couldn't, and I had to accept my vulnerability. Now that's tough when you're used to never really being in physical pain, knowing how to deal with things when they come up, knowing what the solution is. I don't know how this pain came about. I don't know what caused it. I didn't know why it was there. And I didn't know how to fix it. And that put me into a place where I accessed some very deep beliefs, very deep wounds that have been playing out in my life because I hadn't fully owned them or owned how my perception of them was causing me suffering. So they came up for review. And through that, I don't know if you've heard of the Mandela effect, but look it up, because what happened was scenes of trauma as I went into them through accessing the pain in my shoulder, just literally holding my shoulder, going into the pain, crying, breathing into a sphere of compassion, all of that pain. I got to witness again the scenes of trauma that were locked up inside of me, and they started to change right in front of my eyes. They became a different story that allowed me to feel differently about what happened, why it happened, and then freed myself from the pain I kept forcing myself to feel because of how I had perceived these things in the past. So I know it will be relevant for you. And also last night, because this often happens, my higher self talks to me in my sleep state. I woke up and decided to take a little bit of time to read where I was at in this book. And it's Marianne Williamson. It's absolutely brilliant. She is phenomenal. If any of you live in the US, please back her, because she's going for Congress. I'd love to see her in the world of politics. But she was talking here about when we're misaligned, when we want something, but the way we want it isn't aligned with true higher calling. It's actually coming from a place of lack consciousness or poverty consciousness. And also that drive to do something because you feel you should, rather than it's coming from a place of where you really want to. And there are 3 prayers in here that related to a work situation, but I just want to share them with you because you can apply them to absolutely anything. Okay, so let's just say relationship. Dear Source, dear God, dear higher self, may this relationship be of service to the greater good of all. If it's not the best use of my talents, of my love, please cast it from my mind. If it is the best use of my love, my essence, my purpose, please pave the way for its success. Guide all my thinking and actions. Thank you. Again, may this relationship be a blessing on everyone who it involves. May it bring both love and prosperity in all ways. And then when you're really feeling stuck, dear Source, I know that you are bigger than my problem, but by myself, I cannot fix this. Please guide my thinking, open my heart, and send me a miracle. And I want to remind you that a miracle is nothing more, or it's everything that includes a shift in perception that allows us to see where something that seemed impossible can be possible. And that might be that we just have to accept and surrender the fact that things won't go the way we want them to, because it's not in our control. But the miracle is that we're able to accept this and to make peace with it. So compassion is essential in and for ourselves first and foremost. Today, in this new moon meditation, we're going to be working with the clear flame of infinite love to neutralize resistance. We're also working with the soft pink flame of divine grace and the violet magenta flame of passionate compassion. Now, I'm using these flames that came through as I was tuning in, because when you actually see your part in things, so this is when you're in that bit of being committed to working with the shadow side of the things that you want, you then start to get into that place very easily of how could I have contributed this way? What was I thinking? Why was I doing that? How could I? And you get into this self-perpetuating beat up, right? That's not going to get you where you want to go. So that's when you want a miracle, is a shift in your perception to be able to see things differently. The soft pink flame will help bring that miracle through, the shift in perception, because that is divine grace. And then the passionate compassion is to recognize that now you have a perception that allows you to see the past in a different way. But in that moment, you really were doing the very best you could with what you had. Hindsight's a great teacher, we know that. So we want to move beyond needing to beat ourselves up as a part of the process. But we do want to have a tool for dealing with the feelings of resistance coming up. And that's what we're going to do today. That actually would keep us in a place of bondage rather than letting them be released from us, being grateful that they're being released from us and allowing them to be transmuted into an energy we can utilize for the highest good of all. So I'm going to start at this point. If you have crystals around you, I've got two with me. It's this one here that I wanted to share with you all, which I believe is a porphyroid, but it might actually be white aragonite. I will let you know once I've looked it up again. I've forgotten, but this has been deeply cleansing for me. It came to me my birthday through my dear Cherie, and it has really been one of like clearing some really deep, unprocessed stuff that I wasn't aware of. And celestite. This is absolutely beautiful light blue stone that connects us to our divine blueprint, to our divine self, to our divine coding. And again, if you ever want any of these, remember that I sell ethically sourced crystals, so you can get in touch and I'll be very happy to put something together that suits you, whether it's a little bundle of crystals or something specific. So let's get going without any further ado. And I am really being led by the heart today. Okay, I haven't been looking into the planets. I haven't really been tuning into what anyone else has been saying. All I can say to you is it's felt like a month of deep detox, a lot of tears. A lot of my clients have been feeling that as well. A lot of people have been saying I'm crying all the time and I don't know why. Well, remember that the lungs of our planet are on fire at the moment. There's a lot of fires in the Amazon. So as we clear our own sadness, our own grief, the lungs are connected to grief. As we recognize through our ignorance how much pain we have caused this planet, as how much pain we've caused in our own lives or contributed to in our own lives, and we just allow ourselves to release it rather than to beat ourselves up, we're going to end up having a really good shift as we move into the Phoenix full moon in a couple of weeks' time. And then we're able to bring in divine balance of the masculine and the feminine next new moon, which is at the end of September and will be in Libra. So let's utilize what has come up for us and really support a shift that is heartfelt for all of humanity, all sentient beings in our universe, and for us personally too. Are you ready? Rub your hands together. Have a little shake of those hands. And then when you're ready, you can bring a hand to your heart. If you want to have a little bit more cacao, you can do that too. You've got a crystal nearby. Once I've done the I ams, I'm going to cleanse the crystals, so just bear that in mind. Please repeat after me when you're ready. Let's just take a moment to close our eyes. You may want to bring one hand to your lower belly and just to hold your lower belly. And take a few deep breaths again, remembering that beautiful sphere that's surrounding you. The sphere of compassion is made of trillions of little spheres, all spinning on their own axis. So if you were to look at any part of the wall of the sphere, it's made of trillions of little spheres, all spinning on their own axis. And these spheres spin to the frequency of compassion. So anything you release in your breath is instantly transmuted into compassion. Every time you breathe in, you're receiving compassion. So our cellular structure is being infused with compassion. When you're ready, please allow yourself to repeat after me out loud. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I am unity consciousness. I am source consciousness. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am free. I am divine love. I am divine wisdom. I am divine intent. I am divine power. I am co-creating grace and ease in every area of my life. I am co-creating my personal paradise. I am safe in my success. I am safe in my happiness. I am aligning with the win-win-win in everything. I am co-creating the highest good of all. I am accountable. I am transparent. I am divine prosperity. I am divine flow. I am divine compassion. I am that I am. Take a few deep breaths, just allow those I ams to embed, and you can pick your crystals up now if you wish. Or just hover your hands over them, and again you can repeat after me, but I am doing this on your behalf. I cleanse these crystals to renew their power, so they may bring peace and harmony and benefit all of humanity. I command that any lower frequency energies are taken now from these crystals and transmuted into the purest vibrations of love and light, so that only the highest frequencies of energy are present in these crystals for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so you can keep the crystals near you. And just allow yourself now to cultivate within your being feeling of ultimate compassion for yourself. So we know what it's like when we're in a changing room where the lights are really bright and we can perceive all of our perceived flaws. All right, so I would like you just to imagine that you are bathed at the moment in pure source love light. You are looking in the mirror. And despite all of the things that you feel are wrong with you, are bad about you, are flaws in your character, you cannot help but feel total love and acceptance for this being in front of you, this being that you are witnessing that is you. So we're inviting non-judgment, we're inviting unconditional love, we're inviting acceptance and allowing of what is there. We're accepting forgiveness. We're accepting having the courage and confidence and self-trust to reveal to ourselves exactly what is there as we see it. And as this infinite love light is streaming to you, it's like the gates of heaven have opened again and they're just holding you in this vibration of compassion. As you see yourself, you kind of do a 360 of your being and witness all of the things you typically judge yourself for physically. And allow those things to just be met with love, with complete unconditional love. As though the observer has no judgment on what is seen. And the observer is you. Only love for what is there. This creation that is a reflection of the divine, an individual reflection of the divine. And as you're looking at this image, just allow yourself to create a small sphere, a replica sphere of compassion, just a little to the left of what you're seeing. And allow yourself to breathe into that sphere any of the perceived flaws you see in your physical being. So if there are elements of your body you'd like to change, just imagine that you're able to place in the sphere those very things that you wish were different, even though you're looking upon yourself with ultimate compassion. So letting go of any sagginess, letting go of any spots, any blemishes, any imperfections, letting go of cellulite or poor muscle tone, letting go of too much or too little weight, however you see it. Letting go of unwanted hairiness or a lack of hair where it's wanted. It's letting go of these things we wish were different. Breathe them into the sphere. Release your attachment to the judgment of these things. And the sphere that is that small one that's containing all of the things you're letting go of gets as big as it needs to hold everything and also rotate. So it's spinning and acting like a vacuum. So it's drawing from you all of the judgments. And also going into all of the judgments around the things that you do. So any habits or addictions that are present in your physical reality. Whether it's judging yourself or others, always expecting the worst. Smoking, drinking, overeating, sugar addictions, wheat addictions, shopping, gambling, worrying, obsessing, overworking, avoiding pain, whatever is there. And letting go of any judgment towards others in your life. If there have been any difficulties going on, just allowing yourself to let go of any judgment of others or yourself in those situations, just putting the judgment in the sphere. And allowing ourselves to cleanse the etheric, emotional, and mental bodies at the same time, as well as the astral. So letting go of the attachment to pain, letting go of the attachment to struggle, breathing these into the sphere. Letting go of the attachment to things being difficult. Letting go of fear, seeing through eyes of fear. Letting go of the guilt and the blame and the shame that comes from seeing what we haven't seen before we can see the love and the divinity in all things. So releasing the core wounds of judgment, guilt, blame, shame, and the fears around abandonment, rejection, and betrayal. Being willing to let go now of physical, emotional, mental pain, spiritual pain, so psychological, physical, and emotional, and spiritual. Because all of these things are preventing us being able to create a structure that we can embed. So now seeing yourself as you're seeing all of these layers of misperceptions being cleared from every layer of your being, as you're looking in the mirror again, allowing yourself to glow, allowing yourself to be as you wish to be. So feeling as though you walk your talk. We're all walking our talk. We're all impeccable with our word. The feeling of looking in the mirror and knowing there is total transparency. There is nothing hidden from self. So there is no need to hide things from others. And seeing also what it's like to revel in the success that comes from self-mastery. So you're starting to see now the version of you that you are stepping into, the balanced version of you, the divine version of you. When we talk about putting a structure in place, this is our soul being in control and allowing the divine structure necessary to guide our lives in this physical reality. So as you look in the mirror, you may start to see different structures around you. So remember, there's the big sphere surrounding you. There's your light body, which may be a diamond shape or a six-pointed star within the sphere. There's the outline of your physical body. And then there's this inner lightsaber, your core line, which is strong and active. I invite you just to see these aspects of your being fully lit up, fully integrated. If there's any part of these outlines that seems as though it's dull or missing, direct your attention there and draw it, like literally let your consciousness fill in the gaps. And then continue to allow yourself to breathe into the sphere any resistance you have about allowing a structure beyond what you know to be placed around what you know, so that the old structure can be gracefully and easily dismantled. Knowing that as it does, you're not going to come crashing down. There's this beautiful expanded structure that is being really well anchored and well rooted for you to expand into. So I want you just to imagine now that all of those core lines are meeting in your earth chakra. So just below the surface of the earth, you can imagine a huge flower of life formation around the planet. It's the crystalline grid, and it's just under the surface of the crust of the earth. And there's also a beautiful, huge sphere of compassion around the whole planet, just like there's a sphere of compassion around each and every one of us. Every creature, every being on this planet has its own sphere. So feeling this new structure, like this expanded structure coming in. So just see it, visualize it. See it be so big that it's around the structure that is being dismantled. And the dismantled structure is being breathed into the sphere that's slightly to your left. So you're allowing yourself to see the old be released, be dissolved, be transmuted. It's just being breathed into the sphere. And on your behalf, I am commanding a complete and irreversible release of the old fear-based paradigm structure still existing within any aspect of our being, collective and individual. From our cellular, molecular, atomic and subatomic particles, from the waves and particles of our quantum field and photon stream, from our physical, etheric, emotional, mental and astral bodies. That's it. Wow, it's feeling great. Just allow it all into the sphere. So it's like taking out an old frame once a new frame has been placed around it. Like ripping out the inside of a house as you gut it and you start again. But there's a new, beautifully expanded structure around those old walls. And allowing everything that you feel isn't working in your life to be breathed into that sphere to your left. So as you keep visualizing this version of you that you're co-creating, allowing the resistance to your power, your empowered self to be released into the sphere. Releasing the need to control in order to feel safe. And the habit of making things difficult and hard work, because that is what we have attached to value. Something is only valuable in the third dimensional frequency if you work hard for it. So letting go of that belief. Now bringing in infinite love to clear all of that resistance up. So just allowing infinite love as a pure, clear flame of love and light, like a clear quartz crystal, flowing down through your body as you affirm, I am infinite love. I am infinite love. I am infinite love. Let that wash through you, around the planet. As you do so and you feel this connection to the crystalline grid, allowing all of the responsibility that is felt for the planet, for the destruction of this planet, to be released from you. So release from your lungs the sadness and the grief that comes as we witness what we've each done in our ignorance. Just allowing it to be released as the infinite love is coming through. Just allow these emotional and psychological qualities to be released. And also releasing from the astral plane any connection to any non-physical beings that feed off our despair. So releasing cords of attachment into the sphere to your left as the infinite love flows through you. It's drawing all of these from the etheric and also the astral bodies into the sphere and being loved up. So what happens is the infinite love, as it moves through us, moves into the earth, back up through us and from our hearts into the sphere. So it instantly transmutes the energy, the density in that sphere to raw creative energy, to 0 point source energy, free of any instructions of struggle. It's literally just infinite love. See that sphere become a clear crystal ball of love and light. And from there, bringing in now divine grace, the soft pink flame of divine grace, which allows us to let go easily of all thought forms, beliefs, emotions, memories, perceptions that are not serving our highest good. So letting go of seeing through the ego eyes and thinking through the ego mind. So just affirm, I am divine grace, I am divine grace, I am divine grace. Let that soft pink flame flow through you into the heart of Gaia, explode out like a bomb of love all around the planet, feeding the crystalline grid. Gaia is the ascending earth paradigm, the new earth we're co-creating, the earth of thriving. And it moves back up through us, through our hearts into the sphere. So the white clear light and the soft pink light meet, blend together. Beautiful work. And now the violet magenta flame of passionate compassion. So this flame is a flame that allows us to be deeply compassionate towards ourselves and towards all of the suffering we see, without stepping into pain stories and reigniting pain stories, reigniting any kind of old wound pain. So the passionate compassion allows the discernment necessary to be kind and caring towards others and towards aspects of ourselves that are stepping up, but not pandering to those ego pains and giving them airtime. So repeat after me, I am passionate compassion, I am passionate compassion, I am passionate compassion. Let that violet magenta flame flow through you, burning away everything that is in the way of love. Moving around the planet into the heart of Gaia, and then back up through you and through us into our hearts, and from there into the sphere in front. So we have violet, magenta, soft pink, and clear white, bright light all merging together, pulsing, creating this beautiful energy for us to step into. And the emerald green flame is screaming to come in. So that's going to create a beautiful skin around the sphere, protective energy that allows us to stay contained in this passionate compassion, this divine grace and infinite love. So just claim the sovereign flame of emerald green love light by saying, I am the emerald green flame, I am the emerald green flame, I am the emerald green flame. And feel that come through you, through the earth, around the planet, into the heart of the planet and back up through us into the sphere. But it's actually going around the sphere and creating that protective shield that makes us invisible, invulnerable, impenetrable, and invincible as we step into our co-creative divine selves, knowing how to use this power wisely. And co-creating only with love. That's our commitment. So now when you're ready, we're going to expand that sphere. I'm going to just anchor it first, because remember, to your right, you've got the version of you you're looking at that you're going to step into soon, looking in the mirror. So let's just look at the sphere that we've created, full of love and light. Please repeat after me: anchor, lock, and seal. Recalibrate and align. Balance and harmonize. The graceful and gentle. integration and full expression in my physical reality and all relevant dimensions of my being in all space and time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we now create a golden bridge from our hearts into that sphere, and the sphere instantly expands to encompass the you in front of the mirror, the you as witness, and it fills our energy field. So just expand that sphere full of color to be as big as the big sphere that's surrounding you anyway. And bring that version of you that you're co-creating right in front of you. So you're seeing again in the mirror this you that you are becoming, this you that you are inviting, this you that is your divine design time. And see now how those colors are influencing that divine architecture, that divine structure we put in place. So the core line, the inner lightsaber, the physical outline, the light body, and the sphere of compassion. And I'm inviting you to awaken whatever other symbols within you that are necessary to support this new structure, this divine structure. So ask your divine self, your higher self, to show you whatever symbolism is necessary as you look in the mirror. It will support you to anchor this divine human version of yourself. So in particular, I'm seeing a spiral of energy moving up the central column and back down again. This allows this awareness of currents of energy that move up and move down. The upward current is liberating, the downward current is manifesting. We need both. So you're feeling that flowing up and down. And also allow yourself to see your wings. So allow yourself to see a huge, expansive, beautiful set of wings that could be fairy wings, angel wings, a hybrid type of wings. Invite your spirit animals in. Invite your guides and your teachers, your star family. Your higher self is you. That your ascended masters, the ones you feel particularly committed to. Kuan Yin keeps coming in, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. We have Merlin. We have Jesus. We have Buddha, we have Krishna, we have Palais Athena, and you may well have many others, but these are the ones I see at the moment. Bring in your ancestors that are supporting you to grow, the deceased loved ones you miss dearly, but you know are guiding you from afar. Bring in the crystal kingdom, the elemental kingdom, the fairies and the unicorns, and all the beings that are non-physical, but are supporting you to co-create in the physical. See your heart expanding. And see yourself as a vibration now attracting to you all the things you want most. So imagine you're spending your time now, this version of you, is spending their time now doing the things they love most. Feeding their soul, feeding their mind, feeding their heart, feeding their bodies. With all the things that help us to glow and grow. See yourself in the place where everything is coming gracefully and easily. Every connection you have to every other human being and every other sentient being is meaningful. You love what you do for your work. You feel fulfilled and appreciated in all that you do. And there is grace and ease. There is so much time for play, for joy, for rest, for creativity. See this you as already having co-created those things that are yet to have materialized, but you dearly want. It can be material, it can be relationship-based. Just allow the feelings of already having these things that mean so much. Having already created these things that mean so much. Just feel the feeling, and then we're going to anchor it. Let yourself take some deep breaths. Know that the crystals are feeling this coding as well, so they'll be able to help you create this. See this version of you. Amazing, well done. See this planet restored. We've got to a critical point to see this planet restored. The oceans clean, the forests flourishing, the renewable resources of energy guiding our energy usage. Humans all over the planet cooperating with each other rather than competing. Animals treated with love and respect. Every child loved. Every baby loved. Every human, every being knowing their worth, knowing that they deserve love. And they have it. May all beings in this universe be happy and at peace and know what it feels like to be truly loved, to be understood, to be appreciated. Allowing the new moon energy of Virgo just to pour down through you, feeding a spiral of energy around you. As this moon grows, will allow us to release more and more resistance with grace and ease. Till the next full moon, where we purge that which has come from the depths, and we rise like the phoenix into our next level of ascension. Seeing that as a beautiful celebration and all of the time and space in between. Please repeat after me. I am commanding an axitonial alignment with my divine design timeline. Allow yourself to drop an anchor from your heart into the center of the earth. It could be any of the colors we've worked with. It's a beautiful, bright, crystalline, and at the same time, very, very strong and durable anchor. It cannot be destroyed. From your heart into the earth. And please state, I command this process continues until completion. I am divinely guided in all ways. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle. Integration, expression, and manifestation. In my physical reality, and in all relevant dimensions of my being, in all space and time. And so it is, and so it shall be. Start to breathe yourself back through your pelvic floor, through your feet. Just bring yourself back, deep in-breaths. As you breathe yourself back, becoming much more aware of your physical body again, but feeling expanded in that physical body. And then gently coming back to the point that you open your eyes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, that was a bit of a trip. Totally didn't know where we were going to go with that one. Just had to trust. And this is it. You open up the channels and you allow yourself to receive. So these peacock feathers are a reminder for me of a constant turning poison into divine nectar. Now, hopefully you're feeling amazing now. I'm feeling such a lovely expansion of energy. I want to remind you that if you want more of this, you can join me physically on retreat the end of September for the Self Celebration Retreat. It's all going to be about anchoring these feeling vibrations into ourselves, into the earth, and seeing how we can actually co-create this in all areas of our lives. So we've got a wonderful workshop about self-love, getting the love that you want from life and from yourself. Got another one on divine prosperity, which is all about building a healthy relationship with money and how important it is to have that in order to prosper in this physical world and to really be able to give in service to others through making sure you're giving from a full cup. So dealing with the resistance to subconscious beliefs around money. We've got a intention, desire and surrender workshop, which is all around co-creating with your sexual energy. And this is when I'm leading, where it's really about understanding how judgment can super affect our desires if we have an unhealthy relationship with desire, and how to overcome that. And for the guys that are coming, my beautiful partner is going to be offering a workshop around feeling too tough to break and how we deal with the masculine belief that you have to hold it all together no matter what, and to suppress those emotions of vulnerability. So it's going to be so much fun, lots of yoga, lots of cacao, beautiful party in the evening, a magical movement practice where we'll be doing this divine architecture practice, but through movement and through music. And we're going to have a wicked house techno trance party basically on the Saturday evening. So if you'd like to come, I'll leave the details. It's RozyGlowRetreats.com. There are glamping options, and if your heart's calling you to come, please just come. It's going to be amazing. Everything's included. You can bring booze if you want to, you can bring meat if you want to, otherwise delicious vegetarian food is going to be provided that's locally sourced and organic in the most part. It's going to be yum. So I hope you can make it. And remember also that if you would like to work with me and actually do some deep diving coaching work to allow what we do in these new moon meditations to actually deeply root and affect your life in ways that it's constantly building up one level to the next of ascension, then please book a breakthrough call with me. That's the first step for us to see where you're blocking yourself and what's going to be needed to step forward into full co-creating capacity. I will leave it there. So much love to you. Thank you for being with me. Please subscribe if you feel moved to, if you're enjoying these meditations. It helps me keep them free. And if you'd like to purchase the full moon meditation, which will be in 2 weeks' time, you can do that through the RozyGlow.com website. I'm delighted to be in service to the highest good of all, to the Co-Creation Collective. I really want to thank my teacher, Susanna, for teaching me so much around being a conscious co-creator. She's taught me to work with spheres of compassion with these flames, so I deeply honour her and all the other teachers in my life who've brought me to this point. In humble service, without sounding like a complete twat, I just want to say thank you and namaste. Have a beautiful, beautiful time until I see you next. Bye-bye now.